Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, the ruler of the underworld, and with the recent conclusion of One Piece's Wano arc in the anime, I decided to start a new little series by discussing the villains of the Wano arc, or namely the Beast Pirates, not the Big Mom Pirates, in case anyone's curious on that front. The Toby Roper All Stars, and ending it all up with Kaido. I might do Basil Hawkins as well, but I am not entirely certain if he can be counted amongst them. Maybe because I feel like he could also be in his own type of video, not really necessarily connected to the Beast Pirates, while the rest, actually makes sense. Although to be fair, Drake will also not be counted into this series because, like, the guy barely does anything for the Beast Pirates. Like, he literally gets. I'm not going to tirade with that. Just know I'm not going to be including Axtrick. For now, I'm just going to be talking about the Beast Pirates, well, the Toby Roper that went up against the Straw Hats and have the official title of Toby Roper. And with the first one, I decided that to go with page one, since I'm thinking about it going the order they were defeated in would make the most amount of sense. Starting with page one, ending the Toby Ropers with Black Maria, then going with the All Stars, and then with Kaido. Which, funny enough, with the exception of Black Maria, Sasaki, and Who's Who, the fights actually go in a pretty logical direction. It's just, for some reason, those three are kind of swapped all over the place. But anyways, let's get into page one. So we'll start this discussion off by going over page one's design first, and page one's design is pretty cool, I want to say. Like, you can tell that he's supposed to be younger just looking at that. Like, it's a bit better on he and Ulti, which one of the two is younger, since both of them look very young, but which does make sense, they are the two youngest. I believe there's like a very small difference. I think page one is 20, while Ulti is like 22 or 24. I think she's around that age. But regardless, you can tell, like, being the youngest is communicated for it well. And he does have like and Pitcher also has like this kind of weird two colors on his side with his hat, with his spiky hat, with the weird hat with horns on top. I mean, of white and a green, and him also wearing a mask. He also has this more like a kind of, honestly, I'm gonna, for the longest time, or before we got the backstories for Ulti and Page One, I kind of thought he and Ulti were like nobles that were really powerful because they had like these very like this very noble like attire, like, the top, like, a tie and a and it's what they're called, blouse or whatever, like. And of course, like, so I really like thought they were just like an example of, like, I really thought it was just like some, for some reason, nobles, but they are not, which is kind of funny to me. Because again, like, the other ones, look at the other ones' designs, those two kind of look weird amongst them. Like, there's a lot more authority in them. But I guess he just, page one just likes wearing it. Which is kind of funny because his Zoan designs remove everything except for his pants. Like, you have him remove, like, his hat and mask completely disappear, as well as his shirt and cape and anything like that. But everything else remained was just kind of funny. I mean, I know Oda has actually come out and said that the reason why he removes those things, the reason why he just kind of has them like vanish when he wants to, or change size. Actually, I think that's what explains. He said he changes their size is because then everyone would kind of be walking around naked all the time. Uh, which I get, but it's funny with page one because they just vanish and then reappear when he returns to his normal form. Like, he'll go into his Spinosaurus form with his giant, without the mask and hat and everything, but then he'll go into his base form and he has everything on. It's like, do they got like a, pocket dimension or something? Because it's just such a weird thing. And also, as for the mask, this kind of, again, kind of gave me the idea there might be nose because, like, don't want to breathe that bad air or something. But again, it's something that's never really addressed. The two do not have it. And another thing is, I don't think we've actually seen page one's modern mouth design. I think we've seen him when he was a child. Because yeah, I think when seen that when he was a child that he had like he had a normal face. I don't think there's anything special on it. It's just kind of weird, especially since I think Ulti's actually does not have her mouth ever shown. Like even the when we got like their designs as children, I think Ulti had had a mask on. So it's kind of weird about those masks. Maybe it's supposed to be reflecting of the time, since I believe one of these chapters came out when there was that virus of that shall not be named. But it's kind of weird how they have these masks, especially because they're a bit more, have more of a design to it. So yeah, then we are going to page one's fighting style. No, page one is a bit of an interesting kind of case because it seems like what Oda was kind of doing is kind of have like the Toby Ropo in their fighting styles have be like kind of grouped up together. Like you have Sasaki and Who's who are blade type wielders. You have Black Maria and Ulti who are more like the physical brawlers, but also they use a bow or a long polearm weapon. But Page One and Axe Drake seem to have like a bit more a different type of style where they have like more the opposite. Like Axe Drake has like a one weapon that's similar but not exactly like the ones the other full members of the Tobiopa are using. Well, Page One just has no weapon. Like he's just a pure he's a brawler in a traditional sense. He just turns into his dinosaur forms, his hybrid or his full Spinos Spinosauros, I believe is the dinosaur he has forms and just goes into attack. Which is fine, it just kinda doesn't really make him a very interesting kind of combatant. I'm guessing the reason why that is probably because to make to it's kind of similar to Jack in a degree where it's like this is more of the representative of what the Beast Pirates all together are as a crew, more physical attackers because Ulti is also a more physical attacker and they are also like the first two we really get to see in action. So yeah, now let's get into the backstory with page one. We don't really have many details, but the few things we do know is that Ulti and page one's father was connected to Kaido. They were on the same pirate crew. There's like it's almost vague. Like there was a relation between the two. Not certain if there's like some. I'm not sure if this character's gonna ever be mentioned or if he's gonna be brought up, but kind of knew them, and what I'm going to assume is sometime after the father passed away, and I'm going to assume some time has passed. Maybe he sent like the letter, but he died before Kaido could come and pick them up or something. Because in a little panel that we had them drawn as children, we see like page one crying because some kids were bullying them while Ulti went with a cannonball to go beat them up. How dare they hit her Pepe? So again, we have to question. So yeah, I'm kind of guessing they were living on their own a bit, or maybe it was like not that they were living on their own. It's just that Ulti, maybe when their father was dying, and Ulti was the one who's got taking responsibility and went to punish them. Because I really doubt that the Beast Pirates would be the stereotypical bullies on them, especially if they're children of a guy that Kaido was apparently friends enough with, or at least respect enough to take his kids with them. Which I also kind of get. I'm kind of imagining it's also the reason why those two are referred to as the brats, because those two were both like children when they were taken in. And while Jack was also, I believe, a child who was taken out. I don't know how to structure it, but I think he was like an 8-year-old doing the whole Wano takeover thing. So he might have been a member already. Actually, I think it was confirmed that people got that he was already a member. But it was probably like those two are a bit more standard children in terms of behavior than Jack was probably like more of a calm brute type of situation. So yeah, that's pretty much all we got on their backstories. We got a bit more. We got a little bit more of a detail on the devil fruits in their backstory with Ulti stealing the devil fruits and then feeding herself and Page One with them, so to like make them stronger and to stand out a bit more in terms of power, like give them a bit of it up. Remember, this is like the Beast Pirates are not the Big Mom Pirates where there's gotta be some level of protection on the the Charlotte family siblings. Like even if Big Mom herself will not want to say it, and you could say all the pudding and spruces, like there's a certain level of protection on the younger members in the Big Mom parts. Here I kind of doubt it would be. Like I kind of imagine like you kind of have to be strong even if you are just a child on the crew. So yeah, we got that on the backstory side of things. Now we then get to his time in Wano, or the current day of story. Page One was actually the first member of of the Toby Roper that we got properly introduced to. Well, new member since actually was also with him, and this is the first time we actually got introduced to the Toby Roper. Now, the thing about this early introduction is that I'm kind of wondering if this is an example of the writer at the beginning having a different idea of what to do with a character and what it ended up resulting. Similar to how, like, Mortlak, I feel like when he was first introduced, there was a little bit of a different direction going with him. Then when we got, well, to the most then we got to the Demon Realm arc in Fallout to the Apocalypse with him. Like, I kind of get the impression it might have been a few changes, or how I don't think there was like the same thing. Since, well, one thing, Page One in the first introduction is not shown in his normal design. He's showing his uh, full Zoan form and his hybrid zone, but not his full design. So I kind of wonder if, we did a concept art for Page One. I just want to make this clear. I'm aware there was concept art, but I kind of wonder if Oda decided on the design when he was introduced, or was it something like, all right, I know I want these aspects, I know the dinosaur form, so I will just go with those forms, beef, but still wasn't kind of iffy on what he will look normally. So I kind of went on that side. And another I think I'm kind of questioning if how much Oda was 100% sat on Page One is because doing one, we get a lot of like beast pirates who wear like who have whose clothing has like numbers on them, and from what we find out, and we will find out in the raid that Sasaki, Black Maria, and Who's Who all have their little groups that follow them. If they're their own pirate crew, these are just the people that they got to work for them mainly in among when they were part of Beast Pirates. Is on I don't think it was clear. I don't think it's ever addressed on why these two have these their cliques. But I kind of wonder if Page One's clique was originally supposed to be like the Beast Pirates who have like numbers on them. Like maybe it was supposed to have been like a these are the strongest waiters, and they all work on the Page One who is focused on making them the strongest, so they can. So even if they, that so before you end up being a smile or a gifter, you at least have to be somewhat strong. So maybe that's Page One's kind of thing, where he's kind of the one in charge. Kind of similar to how like Kyogi Ope in Bleach was revealed, I think, in an SBS that he was the instructor of the Sternwaiter and the Vanderlight. Well, it's kept vague on what he was instructor of, but he was an instructor. That's why he was kind of like seemed like so different from the others. So I kind of wonder if Page One was originally then to be the same. Like he was maybe originally he was supposed to be his group is supposed to be like the strongest of the strongest waiters, like the ones who actually are the first to be selected for the smile fruits. So I kind of again wonder if that was kind of the original idea, but then it was just scrapped for him and Ulti being brats that were the children of the group. Well, the two who didn't have like their own groups. So I kind of wonder if that was originally changed, it, but from what I know, there was no confirmation that Oda said, "Oh, he had like a change during it." The only thing we do know he changed was the Spinosaurus design because during when Page One first got introduced, shown in the capital, is he actually had like a normal dinosaur tail, but then Oda later in the raid changed his tail to look more like how it looked in real life because during the process, the archaeologists found out that Spinosaurus tails were actually uh, designed to actually swim, which might make page one like the first Zoan. Well, not actually. I don't know. I think we found out Kaido's Deathroot later still, so technically it would be okay. Page one is the first Zoan who has like a straight up ability zone of an animal that has a straight up ability to swim, but he cannot swim because he's a Deathroot user, obviously. Which kind of sucks when you really think about it. Like one aspect of these dinosaurs is the fact they can swim, and yet well, these some of these animals is that they can swim, yet they can't swim because of the foot weaknesses. Just like what was the point? Also, how the heck does the whole incarnation of Dark work? If people can't turn to certain animals because well they can't well certain animals are gonna have an aspect of them be limited because they can't swim. So kind of a weird thing, but regardless, that's just the thing going on with the tail. Makes me kind of wonder if it does I kind of wonder if when if okay, I'm guessing the reason why Page One and Ulti do not show like some unique aspects to their Zoans the same way how like Sasaki and King show like Sasaki when he turns into his Triceratops yeah Triceratops I believe that's what he is he can like spin those little frills around Triceratops' neck or King can like shoot his pterodon head down like a laser beam or something is because he's young, but we don't also get any other members showing these kind of things. So I wonder if the tail would be a fat feature, and I could not imagine this being revealed at some point. Like I would not be surprised if someone asks Oda what are Ulti and Page One's Black Maria's Axe Drake's actually, I think Queen also got her his reveal like that he can that his this tail and head can actually separate from the main body, and the main body is like a husk, that kind of thing. So that's making and Jack. I also don't think had anything revealed special, so I kind of do have to wonder if this is gonna be ever revealed, and if Page One does have something unique to do it with tail. Maybe something similar like with the swim normally where Senior Pink can swim under every surface, or maybe Page One can do something similar with it. Like maybe he can hit the ground and make it more malleable or something. I don't know. So, anyways, in the Flower Capital, he shows up to like scare Sanji out of hiding because Danjiro sent him to take care of the situation. And then we have him like rampaging a bit, and he's just there to kind of be like a show off, like a little bit of a fight between him and Sanji, but it's very clear that it's a one-sided fight. Like Sanji is barely even focused on the guy. He's more like, oh, I'm surprised at this suit. Oh my god, this suit's actually pretty adorable. Not happy on the look of it, but we have all that it's to take care of, and yeah, and then we have and there's like a bit of a fight, but not much. It just ends up kind of abruptly in the manga. In the anime, it's a bit more flashed on the actual escape of Sanji. But basically, it's just Sanji brings down his foot on page one, and then we cut away. In the manga, I think it's shown him being thrown for a building, but and then Sanji escaping with page one be like, right, where did you go? Where did you run away to? So it's kind of similar here. So that's kind of all there. And then page one disappears for the rest of I believe Act Two until he reappears in Onigashima when they are setting up the enemies to be for the strides to beat or setting up the opponents. We see him there, and we find out that he's actually like the most similar to Jack. Like there's a lot of similarities between him and Jack. Looking back on that, even the whole adopted child of kind of the situation, looking at King situation they had. That he's kind of like the more meek, the one that's more like you don't have to bring it up kind of guy because Sasaki mentions, oh, if one of the top all-star falls, then it's gotta be someone's gonna have to take over the seat, and we know you are not and if Drake doesn't want to take the seat, then I'm guessing you also dropping off page one from the candidate condensed because we all know you're too weak to it because yeah, again, like page one is the weakest kind of situation there, and yeah, they and after that talk and the shock of Ulti calling kind of stupid but she just doesn't care. Which is kind of funny. Like, everyone's so sucked about, don't call Kaido stupid. But then Kaido is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's in that phase. She's in the, your father is stupid phase. Ignore it. It's just kind of funny. But regardless, he didn't, and the rest of the people go into a meeting room at Kaido, and it's find out that and then that's when we find out about Yamato, and they're ordered to go look for Yamato, and the one who brings them in is going to have the honor of challenging one of the All Stars. Kind of wonder why he thought All Stars Tobiobo would be able to capture Yamato and bring her to him. Considering what we're gonna see of Captor's power levels later in the story, kind of feels like only King should be the only one that will be able to do it. But who knows? Maybe he underestimated Yamato's power level. It's at all possible. But anyways, page one, despite what Sasaki says, does want to go look for him, but unfortunately for him, unfortunately for us, Ulti kind of tags along to kind of cheer him. Go, go, Pepe! Go, go, Pepe! But he's kind of annoyed, saying, go look for him somewhere else, while Page Ulti is at all not focused. In fact, while he is looking, she's kind of going, oh no, I'm too tired. Come carry me, Pepe. Because, they have like, well, it's clear Page One is the younger one in age and power and everything. Like, it was even a bit where those two are siblings in the beginning because, at One Piece, the different styles could just be like, it could be the samurai way of siblings, or it could just be literal, and it's supposed to be literal. But anyways, those two, Page One have this like weird relationship, and then after she's doing the whole younger sister act, let's call it, he kind of snaps off and is like, God, stop doing this. We have to. If you want to hunt, you are stupid for doing stuff nonsense like that. But the ulti is so pissed off at how he acts. It's like, is this your rebellious face? And then she kind of jumps and fall, and he trips over, and she got as he's trying to, I think, run or escape from her because he knows what she's gonna do, and then they fall down the stairs, which is anyway. And I'll get more into it all day, but they fall down the stairs, and they recover after right in front of Luffy, who then we have like a small little clash between the two. I mean, Page One is not even doing anything. Like, it's kind of like he's even more of a he's even more background than Ult. Like, Ult is at least doing some form of like not damage, but she's at least kind of like, all right, I underestimated the Beast Pirates a bit here. But Page One is not really anything too special. Honestly, he just kind of gets off. No, he doesn't get off screen, but he just kind of gets quickly like kicked away as he then recovers, he's like, Pedro, he's like, ulti, are you fine? Because Yamato knocked her out briefly. And he even referenced that his jaw almost got broken by Luffy, so again, to show the difference in power and showing the Zoan fruits are. And then they just kind of go into like this chase, and then he and Ulti then just kind of go around chasing, which then they do find Yamato, and Ulti and Yamato clash a bit, but then Nami and Usopp show up and they cause the whole scene, and then they kind of then after the and then we kind of go into the battle between Page One, Ulti, and Usopp and Nami. Well, I say battle, but it's kind of just it's one of those times where the writer is aware that he does make it's a bit of an unbalanced situation. So it sounds like a proper 1v1 fight as the shots are gonna have. We have that go more on the lines of Nami and Usopp run around, Page One and Ulti run after them. When they cut after them, they demolish those two, but they always somehow manage to escape, and they have to go into a whole chase again. We have a couple of moments with that. I think they get caught up twice, but it's just a continuous chase sequence, honestly. Until Page One and Ulti run. Though if that group is like running towards Big Mom after she fell down to the lower floors of the Onigashima from the rooftop, and then they kind of befriend Big Mom. But Page One sees that and he's like, "Oh, great, Big Mom's like, Big Mom, can you slow them down just so I can chop them or beat them or crush them, because to him they're allies. He doesn't know the way Big Mom's brain works, so he just thinks, oh, she's gonna help us. Just she doesn't have to exaggerate her strength. Just like keep them there so I can kill them because again he can. Like it's very clear again. Page One Ulti might be. Okay, Ulti, I'm a bit skeptical, but alright, Page One might be the weakest, but it's clear he's too much for Usopp and Nami to handle. But because of Big Mom being Big Mom, she's angry that he's trying to kill Tama, so she just punches I think she uses advanced conquerors hockey and just knocks punches page one and he's out. Like he's just out of the arc. That's how he gets beaten. Like just gets beaten by Bingo. I mean, not the worst way. In fact, when it comes to defeats of the Toby Roper, it's probably like one of the more impressive ones because at least at least it's like advanced conquerors hockey from fucking Yonko, unlike some others we're gonna get into. Fine enough, after the old though, two who we're gonna get into are Ususu and Sasaki, who are like the most embarrassing defeats in my opinion. Pick each one, he gets defeated by Yonko. The other two, well, we'll get into that. But yeah, page one gets knocked out, and that's the last time we see him. I don't think we get anything from him, not in the anime, or has even been mentioned about what happened next. Because after the own raid of Nigashima raid, we just kind of jump into the future, and outside of King and Queen, we do not have any mentioning of any of the officers. Like we don't know if Page One was just left unconscious on the Onigashima, or if he was taken into the Flower Capital to be imprisoned those stocks. We did, or did he escape? Like we don't know. Like if Page One, if we do get a cover story for it, if we see like Page One, like recovering during some time during the Onigashima thing, I would not be surprised because again, like they mentioned that zones are really like good at recovering and all that type of stuff. So I would not be surprised because remember, Page One was taken out. I would think like I kind of want to say he was taken out in the middle of the whole conflict, so I could see him recover. So recovery wise, I feel like he could have been the first one to come like back. Like maybe not strong enough to fight. I could even say be like, oh, what the fuck happened? And the whole he sees what's going on, everything, and he's like, oh shit, all right, I'm just gonna grab old thing, get all like I can't fight. It's kind of like well, I'm too damaged to do it. I could see it. Like he's not a dumbass. Like that's the thing. Benchmark is when it comes down to he's a pretty decently competent individual. Decently, has priorities. Old is the crazy idiot one. So I will not be surprised if page one being the damage and seeing how the things are unfolding. Because remember, like he probably just needed to see that fact that one destroyer is like full capability, and even some of the other ones are not that horrible off. Alright, I'm pretty sure they would. I'm pretty sure that guy fought Sasaki and he's completely undamaged and he's on just one form. To be fair, he might not know Franky's look without the armor. And he might just like, I'll just go grab ulti and get the fuck out of here. Because again, like they do care about each other, but it's like it's kind of like the whole bickering couple kind of deal. Like the two characters bicker a lot, but they do at the end they care about each other. Not in that way for ulti in page one, but you get like bickering, yes, but do they when it comes down to it, do they care and love each other? Yes. Like even ulti does love and care about page one. It's just the way she acts is so uncontainable. So I could see page one coming, like just again, like I could see him be recovering and just taking old thing the fuck off here. But are we actually gonna learn if that's the case? I don't know because I could also see it just being like one of those characters where it's like, what happened to them? Did they get imprisoned? Are they Mashima does this a lot actually. Himashima from Fairy Tail, Eden Zero, and that talk and wherever where he has like some villains in arcs have these very what happened afterwards. Like he has like Marie Slime from Eden Zero and her little group. In the first timeline, their scheme gets exposed. They get beaten by Witch, and then they're just like, did the crew lock them up somewhere? The crew drop them off? Were they arrested? Nothing is mentioned of them until we get travel into Universe Zero, and that's when they get that's where they get kind of starting a new path with Draken. But in the arc itself, we have no idea, and they never come back into that universe again. Uh, then also in East Blue, there's a lot of villains like that where we have no idea what happened afterwards, like Kuro, Don Creek, Morgan, and all along. Like we don't know what happened to them. So I could see Page One also now also being the fate of Page One and the rest of these officers, but we don't know yet. So yeah, as now to just give my overall ranking, I would say page one is definitely one of my favorite Beast pirates. He might be my very favorite, but I liked him well enough. Like he was a very he's like the one of these characters who's like he's clearly meant there to be more like the father one, like not father in a literal sense, but like amongst these characters, he's clearly supposed to be the weakest one, the one that's just kind of gives you the idea. But I think he was used differently enough where he does have certain fun aspects to him, and just his relationship with Ulti is really fun, very entertaining to see. So I think I do want to see more of him. I do want like a little cover story. I just feel like they can do stuff with him. Like I think there's something you can reuse it. Like I'm not like would it'll be fun. I think he's decently strong enough character as well. But yeah, anyways, that's my thoughts on page one. On the villain scale, I'll probably give him a solid 5 out of 10. Like, he's nothing special, but I mean, you can't kind of do much when you're. But again, like, for what he was, is that in the type of villain he technically falls into, he was done pretty well. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you like my inmate of this episode of Inmate Hell. I hope you're ready for the other Beast Pirates, Inmates of Hell. I don't think I'm gonna do another one very quickly, but I'll uh, do it at my own pace. I mean, the one I know it's gonna take longer than the one arc took to be finished in the anime and the manga. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to do it in a reasonable time period. But yeah, anyways, I hope you like this video. I hope you leave a like, subscribe for more videos in the future, especially in Mains of Hell. If you have any villains you want to recommend for him, tell me in the comments. And with that said, I can't wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.